Hello and welcome to another Orange Coast College mathematics video. In this video, we're going to find the equation of a line given that we know some information about that line. Typically, we'll need either a point on the line and the slope, or 2 points on the line, which will give us the slope. Now, if we know a point on the line, and say that point has coordinates x naught, y naught, okay, so we know that's a point on the line, and we know the slope, and the slope is m, okay? Then we can find the equation of the line using what's known as point-slope form. And so the equation of the line in point-slope form is just y minus that y-coordinate of the point you know is on the line equals the slope times, in parentheses, x minus the x-coordinate of that point you know. Okay? And once you have it in point-slope form, if you solve for y, then you'll have it in slope-intercept form. We begin with the following example. Let's find the equation in slope-intercept form of the line that passes through the point 1, negative 2 with slope 2/3. So using point-slope form, we simply write out, so it's y minus the y-coordinate of the point on the line that we know equals the slope, and then in parentheses, x minus the x-coordinate of the point we know. Now that is the equation of the line. The only thing that remains is to place this equation in slope-intercept form, which means we have to solve for y. So to do that, so this becomes y minus negative 2 becomes plus 2. I need to distribute that 2/3. So we get 2/3 times x, and then again we have to distribute it to both terms here. So it becomes minus 2/3 when we multiply 2/3 times negative 1. And now just subtract 2 from both sides so that y will be the only term on the left-hand side. And so if we do this, we get y equals 2/3 times x, and then we have 2/3 minus 2, so 2 would be 6/3, so minus negative 2/3 minus 6/3 would be negative 8/3. And there we have the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. In this next example, we want to find the equation, again in slope-intercept form, of the line that passes through the points negative 3, 4 and 2, 4. So we're not given the slope in this problem, so our first step will be to find the slope. So the slope is we take the difference in the y-coordinates, so I'm going to do 4 minus 4, over the difference in the x-coordinates, which would be 2 minus negative 3. And so here we get 0, right? We get 0 over 6, which is 0. So the slope of this line is 0, and so if we plug this into point-slope form, we would have y minus, now you can use either one of the 2 points. So I'm going to use the first point, negative 3, 4. It's y minus the y-coordinate equals the slope, which is 0, times x minus the x-coordinate. And so on the right-hand side, when you multiply through by 0, everything becomes 0. So you just get y minus 4 equals 0, and you add 4 to both sides. And you get the line y equals 4. Now this is a line where it's y equals a constant. That is a horizontal line, which makes sense because the slope is 0. Example 3. Find the equation in slope-intercept form of the line passing through the point 2, 0 and parallel to the line 2x minus y equals negative 5. Now you'll note that we're given a point, but we're not given a second point, and we're not exactly given the slope of our line that we need to find. However, parallel lines have the same slope. So I know that if I'm looking for the line passing through the point 2, 0 and parallel to the line 2x minus y equals negative 5, then all I have to do to find the slope of the line I want is find the slope of this line, which is parallel to it. And so to find the slope of this line, all I'm going to do is solve for x, because if I solve for x, it'll be written in slope-intercept form, and then we can identify the slope. So if we have 2x minus y equals negative 5, then I have to add y to both sides. And I'm going to add 5 to both sides as well. And that will cancel out the y on the left-hand side and the 5 on the right-hand side. And what I'm left with is 2x plus 5 equals y. So the slope of this line is the coefficient of x, which is 2. Okay? So now I have my slope of my line I'm looking for is 2, and it passes through the point 2, 0. So again, we'll put this into point slope form. So it's going to be y minus the y coordinate of the point 2, 0, which is 0, equals the slope times x minus the x coordinate. And if I simplify this, it'll be in slope-intercept form. So we get y equals 2x minus 4, and that's the equation of the line we need in slope-intercept form. In our final example, we want to find the equation, once again in slope-intercept form, of the line passing through the point -1, -6, and perpendicular to the line y equals 1/3 x plus 12. Like our last example, we're given a point on the line, -1, -6, but not the slope. However, we do have the piece of information that the line we're looking for is perpendicular to the line y equals 1/3 x plus 12. Now, perpendicular lines have slopes that are related in the following way. Their slopes will be negative reciprocals of one another. So the slope, since this line we're given here, is in slope-intercept form already, its slope is the coefficient of x, 1/3. Okay? So the slope of the line we want will be the negative reciprocal of that. The reciprocal of 1/3 is 3. So the negative reciprocal will be -3. Now, I want to do this example a little bit different than the previous ones. I'm not going to use point slope form. What I'm going to do is, if we had our equation already in slope-intercept form, it would be y equals mx plus b. I can plug in for m -3. And I know that this point right here, -1, -6, is on the line, so it satisfies this equation. So if I plug in -1 for x, which is the x coordinate, and -6 for y, which is the y coordinate, then that will leave me with only one unknown, b. So let's do that now. So y is -6. So we get -6 equals -3. X is -1 plus b. If we simplify, we get -6 equals 3 plus b. And we subtract 3 from both sides here. And we arrive at -9 equals b. So the equation of our line will be y equals -3x minus 9 in slope-intercept form. And that's finding the equation of a line given some information about the line. Usually you need, again, a point and the slope, or 2 points on the line, or you need to know a line which is perpendicular or parallel to the line you want. In any case, if you practice this, I'm sure you'll have it down in no time. Until next time, have fun.